What's going on? We are here, guys. I'm really excited. So by now, you guys should have heard our welcome back message. We are back. We are back. We are back. Oh, God, I love Mace. But we're back. Hey, how you doing? I'm here. I see you. That's what we're doing today. And so, first of all, to everybody who is watching, hello. And to everybody that is listening to me, I'm waving at you, okay? And so I'm definitely here, absolutely in love with everybody, everything that I see going on. And I'm here, y'all. It's the new year, the 2nd of January, new year. So I'm like really excited. With that being said, we got a lot for you today. I'm really excited. So today, as my it's gonna get me, but I'm good. So we're gonna talk about a lot today. I have a special guest that we're gonna come on here after a while. We'll have her come on later on. But I'm going to spend a little time with you as I speak about this segment. Is going to be very personal and a lot of things. There's a lot of things going on this month. One being the issue, our very first issue coming out January 16th. I'm really excited about it. It has one of my really good friends on the cover. But what's more important right now that messes me up is, it doesn't mess me up. I'm actually in a good place, but I still think about it, is the dedication that I did to my mother. It is her 10th anniversary of her death. This Friday, would have been her 62nd. Is it 62nd? 61, 2004? No, 60. Look, y'all, 63rd birthday. Would have been her 63rd birthday. And so, I know y'all was laughing at me trying to figure it out. I didn't even thought about it. But would have been, and she also, unfortunately, she passed away in the same month. So she passed away January 29th. And so I am today taking the time out to remember my mom. So, I, as you see her name and her, so as I am remembering her, it's big because it's the 10th year. And so I did an open letter to her in the magazine, Vidal magazine, for the first issue. I did an open letter to her. If you attended my retirement ceremony, I did a dedication to her with my wardrobe, y'all. There was a picture of her in this old school wicker chair with, it says baby 82. She was pregnant with me. And I had a shirt recreated from a really good friend of mine, Natasha Howard from Mega Creations out of Georgia. Make sure you check her out. But no, she did her thing. And it said Beverly's baby 82. And it was wrapped in, it was white, but it had my mom's, one of her rocking colors, which was red. I had the red lipstick, the red nails. So I represented my mom to the fullest. And so this month I'm representing my mother, but I'm also repping lung cancer awareness, as it is very important to me. With that being said, if you have not read the book, Authentic Transparency, Forgiveness to Freedom, please go to I Am Shatoria to get your book in the merch area, because I am telling you, that's where that book is at. And you're going to get a huge awakening of who my mother was to me. And my story with my mom, like, it was crazy and dope, but you can get to learn a lot more about me in that process. Okay. So one of the biggest things I definitely want to do is just pay tribute to her. But before I do that, hey, we gotta, get our show started. So I just wanted you guys to, see, but I will see you back here in about 30 seconds. I think about 30 seconds. All right. Get ready. Get ready for our episode. We are here. We're about to get it in. All right. See you in a few. All right. So yes, we are here doing our thing. That just took me for a little bit because I had to take a decompress a little bit over there. So it's my mom. So but yeah, we are going to celebrate who she is today. So I'm really, really excited about what today is bringing and how it's coming. So, this is to my mother. Know that I love you always. And I can't wait for this new magazine to come out that represent who she was to me, what she is to me to this day, and that I love her very much. And I did look a dedication last year that If you are watching, you'll be able to see it. If you are listening to it, you're able to go on my TikTok and all those wonderful channels and check it out also. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Okay? This is dedication to my mom.
Never could survive. I wouldn't be the woman standing here before your eyes. You taught me strength and you gave me guidance. Whenever faith was lost, you were there to find it. And all because a mother's love is unconditional. With all my heart and all my soul, I wanna let you know that I thank you and I love you. And I will never place anyone.
Okay, that's where it stopped. Ooh, so disrespectful. Oh, yeah. So yeah, they rude. I gotta see what happened with that. Oh, but that is my mother. You guys saw the pictures that I was talking about. So one of the biggest things I want to bring up is that I posted something on the Vidal magazine Facebook page and on the IG, and I shared it on my personal page. But it's something that I wrote to my mother, and we're going to be talking about that. We're talking about healing. And so that's one of the things that I am very big about is, healing, what healing is, how healing is one of those things that there's just no time limit. And so healing comes in all factors, in every possible way. And so that's what really catches people. So one of the things that I said in the magazine to my mother in the open letter, in order to read the whole open letter, you got to go get your magazine. But all right, so it says, surprisingly, your passing became the key to unlocking my healing. Some may not grasp this concept, but your absence granted me the ability to heal in ways that were hindered by your presence. And to some people, they're going to say, oh, well, like, why would you, that's your mom, you're never hear from that. And this is not a true statement. And this is where we a lot of times get confused in. And so one of the things that I want to make sure of is that we're all on the same accord and understanding that, yes, healing takes time. And yes, everybody grieves and heal in different ways. But there also is bad ways and there's also is good ways. One of the things that I realized with my mother's death, it took 2 years to really grasp that she was gone. Because I was pregnant when I gave birth to my daughter. When I was pregnant when my mother passed, and I soon gave birth after that. So it took a long time for me to just really just deal with healing, to deal with what it was, and the understanding how to how to just process it. And so one of the things that I can absolutely say, the healing process was not everything I wanted to be. However, I am thankful for the time that I had to, deal with it. And so as I look back, I'm like, hey, I thank my mom for being that woman that allowed me to get my true feelings out right before she passed. And there's more to that story in my book. All right. So in my book, let me make sure it's up there. Yes. Authentic Transparency, Forgiveness, and Freedom. I talk about this a lot. So make sure you get the book. Okay. To know more and more about who I am, what I am, and all these wonderful things. All right. So make sure you get the book. So again, I am representing my mother this month, as you see on your screen, Beverly North, January 5th, 1961 to January 29th, 2014. She's going to always be in my heart. And so, hey, we are rocking. So I think I'm good with that segment. All right. So make sure you get your magazine at iamshatoria.com. Go into our merch section and get your book. Okay. All right. In the meantime, we are getting ready for our guest, which I'll introduce you to you guys in a few minutes, but get ready for your next guest to come up here out the wild. In the meantime, we're going to go ahead and show you another play view from our sponsors and for it. Okay. Get ready. See you back in 30 seconds.
Oh, he made me great. Yeah. So let me be great. Greater is he than me. He made me Ooh, yeah.
So let me be great.
Keep it great.
So let me be great.
Why?
Please don't take offense, but I just think it needs to be said. Y'all don't really get the picture. Focus your attention on what really matters instead. Believe it or not, I'm with ya. Don't get too caught up in what you see on the gram. I will stay high for him, 'cause that's just who I am.
You ain't give me my life.
Nah, you can't tell me what's right. You ain't laid down. You ain't laid down. You ain't laid. He made me.
All right, so we are back. And so here's the thing I want to ask everyone. So we're into our next segment. And so I'm really excited about this segment because I want to add this kind of to what we got going on. But so here's the thing. As a teacher, I see a lot of things. I see a lot of students who just do whatever they want to do. They talk sideways and crazy. And so we are going to enter into a segment that I would like to call the teacher corner. So let me tell y'all something. This gives an opportunity for questions to be asked. And so one of the questions that came up, and I want you guys to chime in so we can just see what people got to say. I just, just people say what they got to say. And then, we'll talk about it. I'll talk about it in the next show when I see it. But yeah, I want to know some things. So one of the questions that definitely came up that I want to ask this is, why are we blaming teachers for students' action? Where does it start? So as a teacher, I have not been teaching as long as other individuals that I work with. However, though, as an individual who is teaching and as a mother of children that goes to school, I'm very hands-on with the teachers. I'm very hands-on with my child. But I will say, parents, we have to do better. Because when we condone behavior, like, let me tell you something. If a teacher is calling you, that means they've already went down the list of everything that needs to be done on our end. And little Johnny ain't just acting too right. Okay, so we need parents to understand, like, hey, this little Johnny right here, we doing what we can, but we can't do too much. I'm from an area where, yes, we got our butts beat at school by teachers and parents. And so I truly believe in parents taking accountability for their children. People may not agree with that, but parents need to take accountability for their child. A lot of my parents know when I call you, that means I have gone through A, B, C, and D. Because here's the thing, I'm not here. First of all, we are not here to hurt your children. I promise you that. However, though, some of these kids, y'all, ooh. And the sad part about it is getting younger and younger, because the things that were done in high school are not being done in elementary school, and I'm confused. A lot of these kids ain't got they don't realize you don't have the authority, And so we understand there's a lot of chaos going on in places. However, though, as an adult, one of the things that I have recognized is when I have a child going through chaos, I do a temperature check with my students, because I want to know how me and you going to react today. Because I have some students, they come in on edge. I want to know if you're coming in on edge, because I want to know how we need to chit chat today, because you may need a timeout. And not because you did anything wrong, because guess what? Things happen. They are children with feelings as well. So one of the biggest things I like to do is have conversation with my kids. I believe relationship is absolutely very important. Very important. So we got to remember that. Okay. Remember, conversation is very important. So that's what I want to, get to today. And we'll talk about it again, but definitely relationships are important, even with children. All right. Always remember that. All right. So we're going to take 30 seconds and then we will be back. Parents Tutorial Podcast is back. If you got a story, come on through. I'm looking for you. It's only up from here, so hit us up. 2024. Hey, let's do it.
Keep me in my times.
All right. We are back. And so I'm really excited because I have our guest today. This segment is going to be fun. And so I want to make sure we all understand, why we here, what we doing. But again, welcome back. This is our last segment of today's show. And so we are here with a beautiful speaker, y'all. I met her actually online. You know, there's a lot of people you meet and they not face to face. So, you know, I'll be like, ooh, but I got to meet this lady, you know, not face to face. This is the first time we really seeing each other outside of just talking. And so I'm super excited to have her. It's a blessing for me to have her with us hanging out today. So what we're going to talk about today is something that I'm really, really big with. So remaining centered on faith while building your business. Let me tell y'all something. Y'all already know how I am about the word faith. So be ready. So I want you guys to show some love to the one and only Miss. I want to make sure I say her name right because I've asked her multiple times and I'm still scared in my soul right now. LaTonia Naylor, and she will correct me if I am wrong.
Yes, that is fine. You got it. You got it. How are you doing today, Shatoria?
I am good. Hi, beautiful. How are you doing today?
I am fine. It's kind of cold and rainy up here in Massachusetts, but other than that, pretty cool.
Yeah, you up there. You in that little
Yes.
bitty state, that state that looks in the corner when you look at all the state. That's that small one, you know.
Yes. Small place, but big things happening over here.
Oh, honey, I receive. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Go ahead. So, first of all, what you been in Massachusetts, I definitely oh my God. So, like I said, we met online, and you know, I tell people the coolest people I have never seen face to face. But they
Yes.
become like really good people, and you be like, "Oh my God, they so dope." So one of the things that I want you to do for me is just tell the audience about who you are and you know what you representing today.
Absolutely. So I'm going. My husband often tells me I take the scenic route when I talk, so I'm going to try to get on the highway just a little bit. Um, I am a mother of four. That is like my biggest accomplishment. I love to talk about the fact that I have four beautiful children. All of them are scholars. One of them is in college now. Another is going to college at the end of this year. She's graduating, and then it's just something special about being a mom. And I have been able to take the blessing of motherhood and use that oftentimes to have these skills that I'm now using in my business. And I'm the proud wife of my D Naylor. We've been married for over 20 years now. Actually, this is 22 years this year. And I'm just loving the life of being a mom and a wife. And what I have done to be able to stay grounded in that is really stay connected to my faith and my foundation in Christ. And so it was a long time before I actually started to focus in on myself and building my own business because I was so focused on my children, my husband, and the ministry and things like that. But a few years ago, I finally said, you know what, LaTonia, you've been doing all of this stuff. You've been helping people for free for 15 years, 16 years, just pouring out yourself and giving to people. It's time for you to take in what you have and use it. Be a good steward over what God gifted you with. And yes, that means charge for what I do, but also being able to expand it to the masses in a way that I have never been able to do before. So that's just a little glimpse into my life without me going too far into the scenic route of what's going on around here.
No, I first of all, I appreciate your time as you know, we're busy, as you say, your mother of four. First of all, you look great, honey. Yes.
Thank you.
All my listeners, y'all, she's over here. First of all, she wearing these beautiful fall colors, y'all. She got this gold, this yellowish gold going on with this brown. And it's all those who watch it. Ain't she cute?
Thank you.
So I'm with you, and you know, and being, you know, first of all, and congratulations to 22 years of marriage. I think that's absolutely the dopest. I've been married for 13. 2024,
Congratulations.
thank you. We'll be 14 years in 2024. And so I definitely get that trying to balance the life, you know, and I'm like your husband. Look, I mean, you the same girl. I be taking scenic route too, girl. I be like, let's take a stroll.
Yes.
I'm gonna do highway today, okay? But I'm really excited about the topic that we're talking about because if we're gonna be honest, the topic we're talking about today, again, for those that just now joining us, is remaining central on faith while building your business. And let me tell you, ooh, the balance is real. Uh,
Yes.
I truly believe that first of all, I think me you talked about this before. I don't, you know, there's no such thing as balance. There's just that harmony. That's that. How can
Mm.
it all work together? And so that's one of the things that I really appreciate. And I love the fact when I had a conversation with you, when the first words in my mouth is, "Look here, this is a faith-based network." Me and Jesus is tight. And you was like, nope, I'm with you. And I was like, look at God. Yes.
Yes.
Because I operate in an understanding that he's the one that mind the things together. And
Mhm.
so I love it when I can actually talk about faith. And when you send me that and was like, okay, this is the top, I was like, yeah, she said faith. So let's start there.
Yes.
What is faith for you?
So faith for me is walking according to the word of God, the holy scriptures, and making sure that my life adorns the holiness and righteousness of Christ. And by that, I mean walking in love and compassion. There are so many times that people talk about religion, but they forget that there's the relationship aspect of it. And you can't build relationship with people if you don't show love, if you don't show compassion, if you don't show empathy. And
Mm,
so I strive, and actually, let me take that away. That's one of them words I'm trying to get rid of in my vocabulary. I work towards every day making sure that what I'm doing is allowing me to edify the people around me and the people that I target to support. And so that's what my faith is for me. Making sure that every day love is the goal, is the center of what I do, and that people feel that when they get around me. And if they don't, then I know I got to realign myself to make sure that
mm.
that's what they're experiencing when they're in my presence.
Oh, they're realigned. Sometimes we got to pivot in operations that we don't really want to. And so, for me, um, I love the word faith, forgiveness, freedom. Those are my words right there. Like I
Mm,
stand on those because at the end of the day, we tend to forget that God is absolutely in control.
yes,
And we tend to forget that at the end of the day, He runs stuff. We
absolutely.
sit and be like, well, no, I'm going to do this. And God's like, no, you're not. Bring that back. Bring that back. And
Hmm.
so when it comes to business, I'm definitely with you when it comes to business. Business is one of the hardest things to operate in today's time off of faith. And I say that because social media and this generation has merged things to where a lot of people do things for likes and for like if I ain't got this many numbers, I can't do this. And
Mm,
I'm having to learn this is not a true statement. And so let's talk about that. How are
yes.
you running a business off of faith?
So the first thing is that I pray about every single move that I do. From where I decided to start my business to the people that I align myself with in business, the people that I delegate responsibilities to in business, everything for me is about having this atmosphere, this culture that's faith led, right? And so whether it's my nonprofit work that I've co-founded, people just know like when we have our board meetings, when we have our community meetings, we praying. That's just what we're doing.
Mhm.
It's about God. And no, I'm not throwing the Bible at people, but I'm showing them through the walk of Christ. And people are saying to me, can you pray with me? When you starting a church? I want to come to your church. They're asking these questions
Ooh.
because they're experiencing Christ when they're in my presence, right? And so part of it is, yes, I'm praying and I'm fasting and I'm seeking the Lord for guidance. But the other piece of it is that I am not afraid to do what's right. And a lot of times people will cut their integrity, they'll cut their authenticity in order to get a quick dollar and chase after the money rather than saying, no, I'm going to do the thing that's right. I know that this is according to God's will and word. And let me be patient because I know when He opens the door, nobody can close it. And so a lot of times during my journey, there were times when I could have went through a door and I'm like, no, something don't seem right about this individual, or no, something doesn't seem right about this contract or about this circumstance. So I'm just going to stay focused on my integrity and making sure it's in alignment with God. And I might have turned away thousands of dollars or, different opportunities that maybe could have made me more money than I might have right now. But at the same time, I said, I'm not sacrificing my integrity. And every single time I've made the choice to focus on God, it's like the door will open at the right moment and I meet the right person, and that person is able to take me 2 or 3 levels up faster than I could have imagined because God had a plan for me. If you just trust me and trust in me and do good, then I'll give you the desires of your heart. And so I've been able to even with my book, I was telling you about the book. And even that journey, it took me 6 years to finally get through to doing my book, and then this woman kept showing up on my feed, and I'm like, "I can't get away from her." And then finally, I went to her stuff, and I started realizing, like, this is a woman of God, and she started pouring into my spirit, and next thing I know, I got into her program, and bam, 5 days, I got my book written. Next thing you know, I'm going through the process, and as of 2 days ago, I'm a completely published author, and I'll be celebrating my launch in a few days.
Hey, girl. Okay, okay. And we're gonna get to that book in a minute. And if you guys are just not joining us, welcome to our first real episode of the 2024 year of season 5. Where we are with the author. I'm gonna call her the author, LaTonia Naylor. And we're talking about remaining centered on faith while building your business. And I think it's very important something that you said, and I'm going to ask this question: prayer in public, because you spoke about praying for people and those type of things. And so, as a person, I am a teacher, and one thing I love is that even though I'm not working at a Christian school, I have a lot of Christian students and a lot of Christian staff, and we we are very clear. We love Jesus. I am very clear that I'm going through the school and I'm going to pray for every student and every doorway that there is, even though, they took prayer out of school years ago. And the crazy part about it is I remind my students, because right now, actually my English 2 class, we're learning about censorship. And we're not learning about it in the aspect of just celebrities, because this generation is all about celebrities. What you mean we canceling, such and such, Cardi B sued somebody now. I want you to know there's not prayer in school because someone literally took the steps to have it canceled. And they're like, wait, hold on. How'd she do that by herself? So we're talking about censorship and what it sounds like and what it is and how it plays a factor with a lot of us as Christians. So what is your take in prayer in public?
Listen, I pray in public all the time.
Am
And
I
somebody,
wrong?
yes, and when I'm hosting something, people already know to expect it. But at the same time, if somebody asks me to pray, I'm not one of those people like, oh, I'll pray for you later. No, I'm praying for you right now. We're gonna pray right now. We're gonna touch and agree right now. I have people come to my office. Even when I didn't have my own business, I would have people come into my office when I worked at a local college, and they'd come in my office, close the door. Can you please pray for me? I'm praying. I'm praying because it's what is needed. And I want to kind of go back to something you said earlier about this. It's like a cancel culture, right? And people want to make people feel bad if you're this or you're that. But at the end of the day, one of the things that I've learned through coaching and and it's important. I want to say this and then get to what I'm getting ready to say. It's important that folks know that when you start your businesses and things like that, you want to align yourself with coaches and mentors that believe fundamentally what you believe. They may not do exactly what you do. They may not have Jesus the way you have him or that kind of relationship, but fundamentally having coaches that really understand your concept of having faith and why you move that way is super
Right.
important so that people don't pull you away from where you got to go. But I said that to say, to come back onto course, is that we have to be very clear about who we are surrounding ourselves with as we walk this walk, and allowing people to bring toxicity or certain kind of belief into our atmosphere. Because what happens is this: if we actually focus on the person that we're targeting, like I took my business and I said, let me focus on me. Focus on who I was 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, because I needed a me 10, 15, 20 years ago, but there wasn't one. Right?
Mm,
So that's why I wrote the book. That's why I started focusing on coaching and consulting, because there wasn't a me. And guess what? There's a million me's out there. So if I just focus on me and those people that are looking for what the people are passionate and motivated and wanting to give back and wanting to build businesses properly and do the thing that's right. If I focus on those people, I'm going to find an audience that's going to appreciate my faith. They're going to appreciate what I say. They're going to appreciate the word when I quote it. They're going to know I'm quoting it, even if I don't tell them it's a scripture, and they're going to align with that. And when I started doing that, I started focusing on one of my friends say, don't focus on the haters, don't focus on the people that are trying to drain you. Focus on the people that are going to lift you up, that are going to empower you, and that you can empower them. And when I started channeling my energy on them, Facebook algorithm does all the rest of the work. So I don't have a lot of people that will post or like or share my stuff that are not in alignment fundamentally with what I believe. And that just continues to happen as you continue to focus on who your target is. And guess what? People who don't believe in God, and people who don't have they don't have a desire to do things properly or with integrity, those aren't my people. And I'm okay with them not following me, because I can't you can't understand how my system will work for you if you don't believe and you don't have faith, if you don't have belief in having integrity and authenticity when you move.
No, I hands down, I really appreciate that concept because that is like real. And we have to remember to align ourselves in a business with what God has for us at the end of the day. And one of the things me and my I call her my cousin, she's like my sister, but we had this conversation last night, and it was literally, no kidding, not all money is good money. I don't care if it's coming in. And so you can't be aligning yourself up with people. And so I have been very cautious of what business that I do. And this is why I'm very clear about mental illness when I say my mental health took a hit. So I took a 2-year break from podcasting. And so I took a break from a lot of stuff. And, you know, I had a moment where I was looking at people and I was like, oh man, they're getting from here, here to here. And I'm still here. And God was like, but you okay. You all right. And so that gets into the next question of the work life, the life, and spiritual balance. Because
Yes.
we, more so women, we get into business, especially if we're moms and wives.
Mhm.
And then you have yourself. One of the things is I just lost a friend last month. And
Sorry for your loss.
thank you. She's 40 years old. And one thing I
Mm.
realized her last year, she was living her best life.
Mm.
She was literally taking care of herself. And that's the biggest thing I had to come to content with, is that she was literally self-caring. And so when we look at the balance in our life, tell me in your thought process, how do you, and again, it's not really a balance, but how do you harmonize everything together?
That is so true. I mean, you can do your best to balance and then find out some emergency happens and it feels like, oh my goodness. It's the principles of how we do it, right? That helps to keep us in harmony. And so one of the things that I do is I have certain practices. Every day my husband and I pray together. I mean, whoever rolls out of bed first, they tapping the other one like, come on, we're gonna pray. So that helps to keep us grounded in our relationship, going through so many things. Because when you're busy, he's busy in ministry, I'm busy with what I do. He has his own business, I have my own business. Then we have the children, and we have a big, big family, like 40 first cousins on one side of the family. Like, it's big. And so I had to start putting in intentional time for myself, right?
Right.
I schedule literally on my calendar when I'm taking a break. I schedule on my calendar when I'm taking time or when I'm shutting down, when I know I got to crunch things in because I have a deadline, and then I'm taking time because I need to focus on me. I schedule in my consecrations so that I'm taking 2 or 3 days where I'm fasting and praying and doing what I need to do for spiritual healing and guidance. I schedule in conferences that I go to where I know I'm going to be empowered and be around people that are like-hearted, because if we don't put it on our calendar, we are not going to do it. We're going to make excuses for it. We're going to justify why we can't do it. We're going to justify why we let somebody else take the time that was for us for
Yep.
a reason. So I make it a cost of my doing business. I'm like, look, if I don't take care of me, I'm not going to be good for anybody. And it took me, and I kind of share a little bit with you when we first spoke. It took for me to almost have a nervous breakdown to get to the
Mhm.
point where I said, "Wait a minute. You are doing too much. You're over here sacrificing yourself trying to help this person, that person." And because we're Christians, because we're believers, we know that loving and serving is supposed to be a part of our day to day, but
Mm.
not to the extent that it's killing you. That's never been God's design. He sacrificed already his son. He didn't tell us to go and sacrifice ourselves like that. But we'll take that on as our burden. And I remember so clearly one time I was falling right back into the cycle of doing too much, doing too much. And my husband was like, honey, you doing too much. And I'm like, but I got to do this. I got to. He said, no, you don't have to do it. You need to pray about it. And I
Mm.
prayed. And when I prayed, the Lord said, I am God, not you. And it was like, I can't be everywhere. He can. I can't do it all. He can. So I had to start humbling myself to understand that this superwoman complex you got going on got to
We
go.
can't do. We can't. We can't.
No.
No.
He's the one. So once I took that and humbled myself to realize that I can't do it all and it never was designed for me to do it all, that I got to trust him to do some things and let him work it out and let my kids figure it out and let this person, like, you're teaching them for them to figure it out, not for you to do it all for them,
Mm.
right? Or you're not teaching or you're not a good teacher if you can't expect that they've learned. So those are some of the concepts that I started to implement, and then I started to set up a strategy of how I was going to ensure that I'm focusing on my children, on my faith, on all these different things. And last but not least is bringing my kids into the fold, making
Oh,
sure that my kids are in my meetings. My kids come with me when I go to events. My kids were a part of my campaign when I was running for elected official. We have family meetings once a week. And we treat them like a board meeting. We're like teaching them Robert's rules and all of that stuff. So they're getting an understanding of how business operates by working in it with me. They're my employees. I hired them. They're working for me, right? And so I'm training them how to do different things in business so that they understand the work ethic that I'm putting out. My daughter said to me the other day, she did a presentation on me for school, and she said, "Ma, I never realized how much you do." Because she needed to read my resume. And she couldn't believe it. She was like, I was bragging to everybody, want to bring their parents. Yeah, I have a whole parent that could cap all your parents. You know, she was so proud, but she also understood some of it because she's beside me and she works with me on certain things. But to see it on paper and to recognize all that I do, and she's like, Mommy, I don't know how you do it, but you're managing to do it and you do it so well. And I said, because I have a system that everything that I do all falls under the same umbrella. Everything's about education, my family, the things that I love, I've implemented into my business and my business world. And that's how it all continues to balance out because it's all connected. It's not separate.
I am like tripping because your daughter, because I have a 9-year-old daughter, and oh my geez, she's like my biggest cheerleader. We be going places, and she be like, "My mom's a superstar. She has a podcast. She has books." And the lady's like, "Books with an S." She goes, "Yes, books with an S." And I was like, "Oh, like okay." She got TikTok. She got YouTube. She got all of this, and I'm like, "Okay, cheerleader." And it's crazy because I literally, girl, I may need to talk to you on the side. I literally just hired her as my assistant. She just worked for me this past Saturday, and she was working hard. She was putting all the magazine packets together so we get them mailed out. And
Yes.
post office, she's like, Mama, I'm gonna carry them inside. I'm gonna put them in the thing." And I said, "Okay, you trying to earn this little $5 a week?"
Listen, you're right. That's another whole conversation. That's another show. You're gonna have to call me back and I'm gonna have to tell you about how
Girl,
to save money on your taxes and all of that good
like, let
stuff.
me tell you something. She is about to be high. I'm gonna go ahead and increase her to $10 a week because she literally came in my office and was like, "Mom, I want to." She said, "Where's my desk gonna be?" And I said, "Oh, so I think I'm gonna take my desk and half it and get her one half so she can work it when I'm working." Um,
Absolutely.
because she's like, "No." And so, I'm actually building her brand as we speak. And we've been working on
Mm.
that for a while. But so one of the things that I want to definitely for you to talk about before we end is your book. So first of all, congratulations. Welcome to the
Thank
author world.
you.
Girl, welcome to the author world, honey. It gets real around here in these parts as an author. But
Yes. I
um,
love it.
so tell us about your book.
So I have my proof with me. I'm waiting on my author's copy to come in. So it does say do not resell, but it is available now for purchase. I will be making sure that everybody knows how to get to it. So missionrichandprofitpowered.com is how you can get to the book.
Okay.
And the book is about it's a guide to transforming your passion work into a fully funded business. And so I talk about all kinds of things. Tell my story and my journey, but I also share the different concepts and the different strategies and frameworks that I've used over the last few years. I have been successfully able to take a nonprofit personally that I literally have spearheaded from a $500 budget to a 512,000 budget this year in less than 5 years. And so I talk about like what are the concepts? How was I able to do that? How am I coaching other people to do the same thing with their businesses? And my consulting business is actually, we're now over the 5-figure mark, and we're almost in the multiple 5-figure marks in less than 2 years. And so teaching people how to do this, how to make sure that you structure your way and your business in a way to where you're attracting money. Not you running after the money is part of it, but when you're attracting money, I literally have people calling me saying, I want to give you money. How do I do that? Let me know what to do. That's where you want to be. So I teach people how to make sure you're set up so that people are looking for you to give you money. So that's profit powered. And so taking your mission rich business and mindset and making it profitable.
So for all those that are listening right now, I have her. For those that are watching, you see her info at the bottom. For those that are listening, if you check the description of the information, you will also see this same information on how to get in contact with her. And for those that are just not joining us, we're talking to LaTonia Naylor. Yeah, I'm still working on this first. Now I'd be scared, but
You got it. You got it.
Okay. So we were talking with the beautiful item. Ooh, Massachusetts is just up north. It's just too cold for my comfort. But yeah, so we were having this great conversation as she is, y'all. She's a boss, and that's what I appreciate, the fact that she is doing that. She is a boss. She's out there. First of all, and I'm gonna have to talk to her offline about this because we're just now starting a nonprofit, Girls Empower, and it is a girls group, and we're actually getting ready to go on a 4-city tour this summer. So I'm really excited about that, reaching out to the young ladies. So I'm really excited about 2024 altogether and what is going on. So, and again, congratulations on the book. If you can leave anybody, and we're going to put her contact information back up here in a minute, but if you can leave anybody with any information as like, what tip would you give people right now? If you can give one free tip to people right now.
I would say my biggest thing is that you are not a charity. You are a business. People think that being an entrepreneur is putting in all these hours and showing people how much time you've spent working on your business. Being an entrepreneur, if that's your mindset, will mean that you're one of the 90% that won't have a business in 5 years. If you really want to make it, you got to value what you do. You got to value your time, your energy, and you have to value the idea of automation, having structure, because at the end of the day, it costs money to make money. That does not mean you sacrifice your family. That does not mean you sacrifice your life or your well-being because you want to have a business. And it doesn't mean that if you're doing all that sacrifice and that you are going to be profitable. So it's very important that you have the right system in place so that you will attract those profits. You will be able to spend time with your babies. You will be able to have time with your partner, all of those good things, do the things that you enjoy at the same time building a successful business.
I think that was for me, y'all. I don't know about the rest of y'all, but that was for me. All right. Well, thank you for coming today.
Thank you.
And to all my listeners, again, her information will be, as for those that see it, and you'll see it in the description. All right. Stand by, everybody. I will be back in 30 seconds as we get ready to close. All right. Don't go nowhere. We'll be back in 30 seconds. January 2024, I Am Shatoria podcast is back. If you got a story, come on through. I'm looking for you. It's only up from here, so hit us up. 2024. Hey, let's do it.
Keep me in my times.
All right. Thank you guys for joining today. As you know, I always got to end you guys out right. I've been saying my stuff a little bit wrong, And I hope you enjoyed today's discussion as we talk about, prayer in public and how to run a business off of faith. Like, oh my God, it was so dope. So make sure you reach out to her contact information, have that conversation. And y'all, she got some dope information. Like, I'm just saying. But hey, I am here to tell you guys, I love you guys. So as we end, I always say, walk in love, live fearlessly, and have a whole lot of faith. All right. A whole lot of faith. Do know I love you, and I'm so appreciative of you, y'all. It's like crazy, y'all. We are getting, we starting a new season. All right. The new season. All right. Thank you guys. I enjoy you guys as always. I love you to the end and back. I will talk to you later. Love you all forever and a day.